For now, here's the first opening tick on the index, up about 85 odd points. Good opening for the market, actually. 90 points higher now, 92 points, 117 points. There you go. Sensex is up 360 points as well. Bank Nifty is up 350 points. So good, solid opening for the market. Topping the charts this morning is HDFC Bank, up 1.5% as we speak. Big volumes on HDFC Bank after the LIC announcement that came in. And straight off the back, it's, I think, 21 lakh shares, 22 lakh shares are traded in early morning on HDFC Bank. ONGC is the other one, 2.5% higher on ONGC. Adani Enterprises, Grasim, Coal India. SBI comes out with numbers on Saturday, so ahead of that, up almost 1% for SBI. Kotak Mahindra Bank, Tech Mahindra, Tata Steel. The Bank Nifty is actually charging away, up almost about 400 points on the Bank Nifty. What's not doing well is Cipla, down 1.5%. Dr. Reddy's comes out with earnings tomorrow. Ahead of that, it's down about 1%. And auto stocks, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit of profit taking is what you're seeing. Bajaj, Eicher are all in the red. Titan is also just dragging its feet a tad bit, and TCS too is slightly under pressure. But otherwise, it's a very strong opening. If you look at, the heat map, you'll realize that there are more greens and reds in the market and good result reactions.
Well, that's right, Sonia. But on the flip side, you have some of the stocks that are taking a very, very hard knock. AU Small Finance back, massive volumes in the first minute itself. It's down close to around 8%, so that one's taking a hard knock. SBI Cards, the revolver, well, that percentage has come down drastically. And that's the reason why the stock is disappointed. So SBI Cards is down close to around 4% as we speak. Syngene as well, another earnings reaction out there, that's down close to around 2%. And KPIT Technologies, well, that's lost close to around 4.5% and falling on very, very large volumes. What's doing well? GMR Airports, well, that's up close to around 3%. It went around 85 odd, but it's unable to get past that mark. Currently, though, it's opened well in the green, up close to around 3%. PNB posted its numbers, that's up close to around 2.5%. NBCC as well, that's flying away with a gain of close to around 7% as we speak. What else? What's moving from the broader markets? Then you have IFCI. Well, that stock continues to move up. It's up close to around 10%. It's been moving very, very well. In fact, in 2024 so far, IFCI has almost doubled. That's the kind of move that we've seen. It's up close to around 95, 96% in this month itself. HCC, another stock that's up close to 5.5%. And AMI Organics, well, that one's moving very, very well because the release that they put out on the exchange is that their wholly owned subsidiary, that's AMI Organics Electrolytes Private Limited, they have commenced regular commercial operations for manufacturing and supplying of products for lithium-ion battery cells. This was one of the triggers. The stock has corrected a big time from the recent peak, I think, of around 1,350 odd. Today, it's seeing a bit of a bounce on the back of this disclosure that's coming in on the BSE. Prashant.
Nigel, it's PSUs, right? Top of the gaining list. NBCC, IFC, IREDA, SJVN is up another 7%. So this is where the momentum is, and it's sheer momentum, which is driving these stocks higher. Maybe a few other names. IRB is up about 5.5%, which at about 53 or so. It's got tremendous volumes. HCC, these are all smaller stocks, but 6% on this one are doing very well. We got Sterling and Wilson, Solar Wilson, which is up another 5%. Stocks are a new high, 600 plus on that one. So what a move again. It's double basically from the recent low. There's Shakti Pumps, which is locked up 20%. It'll again, it's had a phenomenal 2023, and it's got decent volumes as well. It's some 90,000 shares, and it's right there. Moti Sons is up 5%, so 208 on that one. Subex is up 6%. So lots of names coming up in the broader space as well, which are doing well. So market breadth, by the way, is some 7:1. 6:1 actually, and it's not looking bad at all. On the downside, KPIT Tech is down another 4%. KPIT Tech was under pressure on Thursday as well. I think that after numbers from Tata Elxsi earlier, you got SBI Card, which we mentioned, AU Bank, of course, 8% lower. Cipla is down about 3%. Cipla had a very large positive move on Thursday, so that's seeing some profit booking, 1330 or so. Max Health has been selling off for the last few sessions. It's down another 3.5% at about 706. And there is something like a Scient, which we should put out, which is also down about 4%. So about 1940 on Scient coming through. And maybe a Torrent Pharma. Torrent Pharma starts about 2% lower, 2.25% lower, 2420. So this is where bulk of the volume-led price action is on the downside as well. All in all, I think it's a pretty solid start with about 120 odd points in gain. We are around the 21,000, just under the 21,500 mark.
Just one large trade that took place on tips, 5% equity changing hands out there. I think a month or so ago, there was a promoter entity that had sold some stake. We'll have to find out who exactly is part of this deal. But off the blocks, 5% equity right away changed hands on tips. Just thought we'll alert our viewers on that as well. Try to get you further details out there.
All right. So that's tips which is in focus, and that we'll get you details, as Nigel said.